We just got fresh out the oven an IPO that is just tasty. I don't know if you guys have ate this before, but this IPO is something that is delicious, and the warmer and fresher it is right out the oven, or just, catching that batch of that same day, is amazing. And if you've actually gone to their locations, it tastes even better. I don't know what the secret ingredient is, but we're going to look at that IPO in just a moment. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the opportunities I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And if that's something that interests you and you want to become part of, you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. Now, we managed to find a home run opportunity of 50% plus at the highest point of possibility on the day. So we talked about DIDI, MEDS, and KTRA. Those were the stocks I mentioned this morning. And if that's something that you really want to become part of and you want to know what stocks I watch daily, you're more than welcome to join us. And we look forward to having you join us. So KTRA, we mentioned it in the pre-market, dipped a little bit and ran up, giving us a highest point of 18% plus on the day. Our home run of the day was 50% plus at its highest point. We mentioned it pretty early, close to the $6 range, and hit highs here of about $9.49, guys. MEDS, this was phenomenal. This is still a stock that I'm going to be watching moving forward, because they're coming out with a new telehealth program, which is something pretty big. It's pulled back drastically after hitting those highs, but it's still something I may watch and something that I'll continue to look at closely. And our other one that was nearly a 15% plus gainer was DIDI. This IPO'd yesterday at nearly about, I believe, as I stated there in the message, $14, and it opened at $16, and it was actually below $16 when I mentioned it, close to $15 and some change. And there you see it, it's close to $16 and a little bit above it, and hit highs here close to $16.90, $3.90 cents and some change. So this was phenomenal run on the day from 10 to 15% plus opportunity. So what's the stock that's just fresh out the oven and just IPO'd? It's so fresh that I can't even look it up here, guys. I can't even look it up here. If I go ahead and write this out here, it won't even show me it. But if you read that right there, that's the stock. And it's actually ticker symbol DNUT, Krispy Kreme, guys. Here it is. So this actually IPO'd at around $16, $17, and then it went ahead and publicly went out at those prices. Now it's already up close to 20 to 30%. It's hit a high here of about 21.64, and in the aftermarket hours it's pulling back a little bit. But there's something interesting that I read upon from Bloomberg stating that they actually value this a little bit above these numbers, making it even more interesting. So here it is. Krispy Kreme Inc. is guiding investors that the company could price its U.S. initial public offering below a marketed range, according to people with knowledge of the matter. The company had planned to raise as much as $640 million, selling almost 27 million shares at 21 to 24 apiece, according to a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, we already touched close to 21, and the question is, could this go a little higher? Could it go below, a little bit of 24 and miss it by a little bit, close to 22, 23? Or is this going to fall back down because it already touched the low end spectrum of this projection, right? So the IPO of shares are out there, and this is so fresh and new that either this can get closer to $24 or probably even break through. And you can see it right there. This is actually coming up and being very convenient at $17 each. So that right there, right off the bat, is around 30% below what was expected, and up to almost 50% below at the highest point. So in this chart, when I look at it at the $21 range, right, that is just about 5% of a jump, catching it in the 20s. But if this was to pull back a little bit, don't you think that a lot of investors will still be guiding themselves, and even institutional investors, off those numbers? Or if this can go ahead and get a lot of attention, which is just so fresh and new, everyone's finding out about it, fresh out the oven, freshly baked and it's just out here. Could this reach 24? Because if it does, from $20 to 24, that right there is just about another 20%. Obviously, it would have been much more convenient catching it at $17, $18. Maybe it can pull back to that and jump back up closer to 24. Who knows? But this stock right now is a stock that just IPO'd. It's on fire, and I'm going to be watching this very closely going into tomorrow and even next week. I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below on this one, and even some of the ticker symbols I mentioned earlier that I talked about over at the Discord and that we were watching. What do you think about those stocks? And also Krispy Kreme. Have you ever had one? Aren't they delicious? How do you feel about this going public? That's something that I look forward to down below in the comments. And as always, this is not financial advice. I'm just here to enlighten you guys on the stocks I'm watching and why I'm watching them. And if you want to know live updates on what stocks I'm watching daily, you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord, and we look forward to having you join us. Thank you so much for watching, and let's make some money. So the ticker symbol I have to share with you guys today is one that you definitely want to have on your watch list moving forward, especially if it consolidates or goes into further weakness. We're going to look at the chart in just a moment, but before we do, I want to share with you guys the opportunities I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And if this is something that interests you and you want to become part of, you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord, and by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors looking to learn and grow together. So I managed to find a home run opportunity giving us 50% plus from the pre-market point where we started watching it all the way towards the opening bell, and it hit a high of 50% plus on the day of opportunity. So we talked about DIDI, MEDS, and KTRA. We're going to look at those charts in just a moment and how they perform. So this was our home run of the day when I mentioned I was watching MEDS, and it took off to a highest point of 50% plus. And right here after the bell and dipping and jumping back up, it gave a 10 to 20% opportunity. Most of it happened in the pre-market. It was moving pretty fast. It had some consolidation areas and pullbacks that gave nice jumps of 10 to 20% every single time. But since the moment I mentioned it, this took off. So the other ticker symbol I mentioned that almost hit a home run opportunity of 20% plus, it gave us a highest point of 18% plus of opportunity, was KTRA. Mentioned it early on in the pre-market, pulled back a little bit below those numbers and took off, giving a 18% plus opportunity. Now, the other ticker symbol I mentioned today that actually went ahead and moved in a very subtle but upward trend was DIDI. It dipped down to about $15 and some change, and it has taken off so far to a highest point of $16.89. So this was phenomenal, giving a 15% plus opportunity, anywhere from 10 to 15 at its highest point. Now, if this is something that interests you and you want to become part of, and you want to know what stocks I watch daily, you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord, and we look forward to having you join us. So what's the ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list? Well, this ticker symbol is KGC. I've talked about it before, and at these levels, if it continues to consolidate, it's showing strength, and this stock is giving some nice healthy dips, right? The lowest point we've seen it this week so far is $6.11. If it goes below $6, even better. But in this consolidation, it's definitely showing us strength. And if it starts to recover and do a reversal, we saw a highest point recently of $8.40. And if you go back to the history, all the way back to October of last year, it hit $10 and some change. So that's close to the 52-week high. But what I'm really looking for on this one is a slight recovery to the upside of probably anywhere from 10 to 30%, and go ahead and see from there what the opportunity shows me. And if things can continue, I will have to reanalyze the chart. But right now at these levels, if it goes lower or consolidates at this area showing strength, it's looking like an opportunity to me. Definitely do your due diligence. This is not financial advice. I'm not here to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold any of the positions of the stocks I mentioned. I'm just here to enlighten you guys on the stocks I'm watching and why I'm watching them. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.